Okay. Hello, internet webs.
Hello, Weber tubes.
Today is November the 1st, or NaNoWriMo the 1st.
Yes,
as we call it.
National Novel Writing Month, first day, day one.
What nation is it national to?
Actually, America. It started in California with all those crazy hippies and people who take medicinal marijuana and stuff. Although
they would do those things.
They would. I believe it started in the 70s with just a group of friends.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been nanoing like crazy for a couple of hours. You can't actually see that at all.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
But
I'm not gonna try.
There's 2,000 odd words of extremely high quality noveling on that screen.
And 1,800 odd words on my screen.
Mm-hmm. And we have cake. And tea. And alcoholic beverages pretending to be tea.
Yep.
And yeah. So, what are we gonna talk about? We're gonna talk about what our cool novels are about.
Yes.
So what is your cool novel about?
My totally excellent novel that I've not fully plotted yet, or past Act 1, aside from the ending, there's a big empty space in the middle, is a space opera, kind of.
I'm never sure what a space opera is. I know it's supposed to be a soap opera set in space.
I suppose.
But
no,
is it just soft sci-fi basically?
Yeah.
Oh, we have a comment.
We have a comment
from the cheap seats.
From someone who was alive back when space operas were actually book genre.
From an old person.
Yes. And the space operas are not supposed to be soap operas. That's a different thing. Space operas are supposed to be epic, really big, sweeping dramas, basically, which is a different thing. So massive fleets, massive planets, doing big things. Emperors, drama, so that sort of thing. It's
Fat lady singing.
Fat lady singing. I mean, there's several.
So like Fifth Element style.
Yeah. Or blue ladies singing.
Blue ladies singing.
Kinda, but even that is small. Usually, if you want to see the closest thing to space opera is probably the 3 Babylon 5 episodes with the shadows and that scale. So I don't think there's been a movie like that. Really.
Well,
there's been a couple of animes like that, but never a movie. I think.
Dune tried, but the focus of the 1984 movie was just the one planet.
Well, Dune eventually got there with the other books, but it wasn't terribly good. You need to go to the Foundation saga or the Lensman series.
This has been Literature Corner.
Yeah. Now back to the studio. For your regular NaNoWriMo action.
So it is a space opera, my story.
Alright, cool.
It's about 7 sort of kind of ascendant races in the known inhabited universe, all trying to find out the secrets of the universe. And of course everyone wants to find out what the big secret is, or what the stuff, what sort of the unifying stuff is first. So everyone's sort of reaching for enlightenment and pretending to be friends, but actually not very many of them are friends.
Excellent.
Yeah.
For some reason that just kind of thought of Indiana Jones there for some reason. Everyone is looking for the Grail. Not the Grail, the Ark.
Well, no,
or space aliens.
Well, or, just the universal theory.
Yeah. That's cool.
The machine race is probably...
So it's the Indiana Jones of physics.
I suppose, yeah. The machine race is probably closest, and everyone distrusts them, but they're actually really nice.
Mine is probably even way too tiny to be a space opera, but it's a sci-fi / science fantasy because it's just got lots of hand waving.
It's also in a bear notebook.
It's in this is my planning notebook. Because the more adorable your plan, the more terrifying things you can wrought. What's the present form of wrought?
Right?
Right?
No.
The more terrifying things you can write upon the universe. Joke.
I see what you did
We're
there.
punning it up today. So yeah, I've got a plan that's color coded. this has been your stationary perving section. So yeah, it's about a bunch of robots and AIs and humans and friends on the internet helping other friends on the internet get out of shit situations, transgender metaphors. Yeah, so it's about a robot helping another robot get a robot body and escape from the lab he lives in.
That sounds like a nice robot.
There's like lots of robot human romance, maybe. Kissing.
Possibly kissing.
Possibly kissing. Basically, everything I write this month, I am blaming on my friends Liz and Val from robotsandtutus.com.
Nice.
Have a look, it's amazing. Who showed me Tutera when I visited them in Stockholm. And Space Gaze. That's my book. My book is Space Gaze. So there we go. So yeah, we were talking earlier on the interwebs and nets about like the different kind of, you had a really good long word for it, like perceptual biases.
Yeah, sort of the perceptual basis of different forms of life.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously,
people. Yes.
so obviously, my races are very different in the way that they experience just everyday things. One of them is very focused on physical sensation. They're kind of the hedonists of the known universe. Everyone thinks they're a bit creepy because they enjoy interacting with other species a bit too much.
Who would want to interact with other species ever?
No, that's immediately suspect.
Yeah.
Of course,
Species are weird.
Of course, the hedonists hate the AI sort of semi-distributed hive mind race. It's not really a race, but it's not really an individual because the AIs wouldn't necessarily experience the total disconnection and the fear of death that comes with individuality. So they would have no problems sort of dissipating, etc. And of course the hedonists hate them because the machines just want everything to make sense and everyone to have the same ontology, and they think that's the way that enlightenment will be achieved. And it's nice. They love everyone. They want to understand everyone. But the hedonists don't want them to sort of constrain their experiences.
Which is interesting because, like, you have the two races, I guess, who kind of are both about experiencing the world, but they don't agree with how the other people try to go about that, which is pretty cool. So yeah, my thing doesn't really have different, like, alien races, I guess. I mean, in the same world, there are some aliens, but it doesn't really come into this story because I do way too much world building with no plots attached ever.
Perhaps a sequel is
Perhaps a sequel. Well, I actually am working on a comic which is set in the same world, which does have aliens. So eventually, then we'll maybe see the light of the internet day light. But yeah, no, I do have lots of different kinds of robots and stuff. So there is the main, like, point of view character who is a cyborg hive mind, kind of, who, like, started off as a human and then had their consciousness fucked with by adding lots of robot parts. So now they're a hive mind who can split themselves off into lots of different bodies. And there's a robot guy who started off as an AI which controls, like, an entire space station, like GLaDOS style. But he would prefer to just, like, have one body and be a single consciousness. So that's kind of what the goal of the whole thing is.
That's interesting.
So it's pretty cool. And then there's some humans who are just, like, shit everything. Who cares about humans?
So the two main characters kind of are sort of coming into the middle from different ends.
Right.
Like one started off as an individual and then got a little super freaky.
Exactly.
psyched out.
And one started off as, like, an institution.
Yeah.
And kind of became an individual, wants to become an individual. And identity problems. And then there's, like, a human character who's kind of that guy in anime who, like, gets dragged along into a weird situation,
Oh no.
and then has to deal with it. So she's like Amuro Ray in every Gundam hero ever, and you know the kid from Tutara, who is like secretly a magical space gay, but doesn't know it yet. Except she isn't a magical space gay; she's just a space gay.
Magical is redundant.
Everything is magical when you have space gays.
It's true.
So yeah, I don't know, what else should we talk about? Do you have like secret nano strategies? I've never won NaNoWriMo before.
My secret nano strategies are dirty and underhanded and mostly consist of like the search and replace function. For making one specific word 3 words very swiftly.
Are you sure those aren't just your making the word count on academic essays strategies?
I plead the Fifth Amendment. I will not say anything incriminating to myself. And also just sort of free writing when I get really when I hit a wall. When you hit a wall and you just want to stop writing, that's when you should really keep going, because no matter what junk comes out, your fingers will still move.
Yeah, good point. I mean, just write the same sentence over and over again until an idea comes. No.
Well, maybe like write a dream sequence.
Yeah.
Write a
dream
flashback.
sequence.
Write an epilogue. Write a prologue. Write
Actually,
5
there's a really cool
prologues.
thing, which I found the other day because I was poking around the NaNo website in anticipation of finally getting to start my story.
Yeah.
Which is like on the young people's, the youth NaNoWriMo, they have like a prompt generator.
Right.
Which has like, you know, in the next chapter, have your character enter an eating contest. Which I think I might have to like, not that particular prompt, because I don't know, eating contests in space. Why not?
How to space food.
Robots and food. I don't know. Have your character enter a battery charging contest.
Oh my.
That sounds pretty dirty, actually. But yeah, so like I might end up using that if I get stuck. But I am feeling pretty good about it because I have plans. And I am Kuma.
You are.
I love sweet.
You are actually Kuma.
Yeah, cool. So I also have a writing playlist.
Ooh.
Which is the Katamari soundtrack.
Yes. Solid.
Lots of songs that make me think of melodramatic space gays. And basically Janelle Monáe's entire discography.
Opus.
So yeah, that's my writing.
That's a pretty
music.
good soundtrack.
Yeah, I think it gives a good mixture of incredibly silly and super cool. So yeah, we're going to continue consuming delicious cake, and I feel like delicious cake is a horrible euphemism for something.
It's
Like anime fandom or something.
The most recent circles that I've run into cake in has actually been asexual internet's community, so not horrible.
No. Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Maybe.
I'm really tired.
We're both really
We're
tired.
both really tired. We've been writing for hours and
in my case, I've been writing like the same page over because it won't save in Google Docs sometimes, and when Google Docs does not connect, you can't even copy paste. And I don't understand why, and I need to remember to yell at my friend who works for Google about that. Even though it's not his
name
responsibility.
dropping your friend who works for Google.
No, he's just like an ad monkey, so he's not even responsible for anything. But I yell at him
You should
nonetheless.
stop using Google Docs and
Probably.
use something else. What is your favorite writing program? I am using Word because I have a Windows RT laptop and everything lives on the cloud.
Ooh.
There's space behind us.
There is space. So that's the thing.
That's the video. Have fun writing.
So video, much writes.
Very science.
Very story.
Very story.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right buddy out.
But
but